Hey loves, welcome to another episode of Sandra Morgan Living. Today we're going to be going over some easy tips for you to create your own pantry in your kitchen. So I don't have a big pantry in my home, but what I do have is open shelvings that allowed me to create a pantry that I could see everything, and it allows me to go to the supermarket and know exactly what I have on hand. So speaking of that, it's the first tip I want to give to you as to why you need a pantry in your home is because of that exact reason. You go to the supermarket, you don't know what you have, but having clear jars in a pantry allows you to see exactly what's on hand so that you don't overbuy. In regards to organizing the kitchen or the pantry, I suggest that you do it with the items that you use most frequently in your household. So say you use potatoes. You could have a jar here of Yukon potatoes. They're small, nothing wrong with that. That's what you use in your household. For us, we like rice. We make rice and beans a lot. And so here we have a jar of brown rice and a jar of white rice. Both of them together, easy access, you know where you're going. I do like to bake, so I put things that I use a lot. Things like cocoa powder, easy access, I can see how much is left, and then I can go and buy more when I'm out of it. Salt, I like to use jars like this because it seals it in very tightly and it's easy to access, and you can just use a spoon and scoop it out. The mouth is big enough to stick a spoon in there, and you can put it in water if you're salting pasta or rice. It's easily accessible. Another thing I want to talk about is your sugars. Brown sugar keeps so much longer when it's in a tight jar. How many of you struggle with brown sugar getting hard? That was like one of my biggest frustrations. Once I put it in an airtight jar, like this ball jar, it kept so much longer. So put your brown sugars in airtight jars. Brown sugar, light brown sugar, so much more easier for them to last longer. So also over here, I have sugar in these beautiful jars. You can get these jars at Target, at Walmart, on Amazon. Another thing that you can think about is not just things that you use a lot, but things that you use but you don't want to lose track of. And so here I have whole oats. Even though we also have quick oats, I grew up using whole oats and everything from cookies to oatmeal. So that's why I have it in my pantry, because it's something that we see, but we use enough that I don't want to lose the fact that I have some in hand. Flour, even though some people use all-purpose flour and self-rising flour, we mainly use all-purpose flour in our home. But if you do use all-purpose flour and self-rising flour, feel free to organize them like the rice. Your self-rising and your all-purpose side by side, and somehow keep them labeled so that you know the difference. These are some other cute jars that I absolutely love. They are the ball jars. They are little and cute, and you can stack them up a lot if you wanted to, and that way you can keep an eye on the pieces or the items that you really want to make sure you do not run out of. When it comes to organizing your pantry as well, make sure you use jars that fit the item. So for instance, the brown sugar, you're not going to put into a big glass jar like this. It just doesn't make sense. There's going to be a lot of air circulating in there. It's going to make the brown sugar get stale quicker. So just make sure you choose the jar size that's according to the item. Keep it fresh in the right size jar. Other things that we have up here is pasta. I could certainly go bigger with the pasta, but there's only 2 of us currently in the home. When our daughter comes home, then we will have a lot more, but for now, this is the perfect amount for just Scott and I. So if you have a bigger family, certainly use a bigger jar to put more pasta in. Last thing I want to go over is labeling. It's not necessary. Like, I don't like labels on my stuff, so here's a quick tip. Easy tip. This is the secret. So under here is the directions for your rice. Most people know how to cook rice, or they have a rice cooker. But if you don't remember how to use an ingredient in your pantry, just put it right underneath the jar and no one will be any wiser. So I hope this helps you guys out to know how to organize your pantry, and I will see you next time on another episode of Sandra Morgan Living.